Hey, so today we are here for another live session with you guys, and yeah, it's very close to Christmas, so we decided to go a bit festive. Yeah, we were a bit festive, so we went with Christmas hats. So yeah, welcome for another one of our live Q&A. We're going to be taking all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. We're here to answer anything to do with traveling around New Zealand because, well, we consider ourselves a little bit like experts.
Yes, we do. So if we are just meeting for the first time, my name's Laura and this is Robin. And together we are the team from BackpackerGuide.NZ, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide. And also we have done a lot of traveling around New Zealand ourselves, obviously, to write this huge website. We've recently finished doing 365 days of 365 activities in New Zealand, which we have videos for all over YouTube. So we feel like we do consider ourselves experts in New Zealand. So if you do have any questions about traveling in New Zealand, this is the place to come today. And we do this live session very early. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. So we are actually live on YouTube every single Sunday New Zealand time, which is Saturday US time at 3 p.m. EDT and 12 p.m. PDT. And Saturday, 9 p.m. In Europe time. So anything Central Europe, we're talking Germany, France, UK. And if you are in India, is it still Sunday or is it Sunday in India? 12:30 a.m.
I think that maybe that's Sunday morning.
Perhaps? I think it is Sunday morning. So Sunday morning at 12:30 a.m. So it's really early for you if you guys are in India. All right, hello, Matt Mac, how are you doing? Hey, Y2J, Queenie Bush Holiday Park. Ooh, he's already on a holiday. Are you going on a hike today, Y2J? What are you doing? What's the activity today? What are you filming? I know you're going to be filming, so what are you filming? By the way, guys, if you are watching this, check out Y2J Does Asia, his YouTube channel. Last week, I actually did challenge him to, no, not last week, 2 weeks ago, I challenged him to give us his favorite food in Christchurch, and he took me up on the challenge, which was really cool. So yeah, he has a few things if you want to understand a little bit New Zealand a little better. Anyway, while we get ourselves warmed up right now, or the live chat is getting warmed up with a few questions and all of that, we are going to go through a few questions that you guys left us on any comments on YouTube. So that's the thing. If you cannot make it to this live session right here, no problem. We're still here to help. And we let you guys put any questions you want on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on YouTube. So here on YouTube, it's pretty easy. You comment on any of our videos with your question. If they're good enough for the live chat, we will actually take them in and, well, you know, go over them right here, right now. Otherwise, we just give you the answer in writing in the comments. We never leave you hanging. We're not those kind of guys.
Yeah.
And on Facebook and Instagram, what are we?
Yeah, so on Facebook, if you just search Backpacker Guide NZ and give us a message, either a private message or even comment on one of our posts with your questions, we will make sure to add that into the pool of questions that we use for the live chat videos. And then also on Instagram as well, we are at BackpackerGuide.NZ. And again, just leave your questions in the messages or in any of our posts, and we'll be sure to add them to the pool as well.
All right, so let's get started. So the first question that we got actually on YouTube, it was a comment on the video, was from Harshit Kumar. And he says, what SIM brands do you find best, as I am an upcoming international student in New Plymouth? So that is a question that we get quite often. Like SIM cards, cell phone seems to be something that a lot of people get stressed about, like making sure that they get the right network for them. They get enough data, enough phone call, enough text. Yeah. So actually, we're going to go quite in depth. We have a really nice chart right here. We're going to go quite in depth. God, this Santa hat is not comfortable.
At least you only have to wear it once a year.
Yeah, it's just once a year. So yeah, so we're going to go quite in depth. But just before, I want to address the fact that a lot of people overestimate how much they need. It's so important to actually just have a look back, and you can check that on all of your phone. You can check what is your usage. It's somewhere hidden in the settings. I won't go in details because everybody has like different phones. But if you look at what you actually have, you very often don't need like 5 GB of data and then unlimited text and this and that. You know, quite often you're going to need like 100 texts, you know, about an hour was a phone call and about 1 GB of data, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So don't overestimate how much you need, especially when you're going to be on the go. You know, you're not going to be streaming, you're not going to be any of those things, because while you're going to have plenty of other things to do, and the network in New Zealand is, you know, not as fast as you are used to if you're from, you know, North America or Europe. all those kind of things. So so we're gonna go through the different kind of stuff. The other thing I want to point out is that you can find Wi-Fi in so many places in New Zealand as
and
well.
especially since Hashit said that he was going to be a student. You know, students do have very good access to free Wi-Fi all over their university and stuff. So you don't really need to worry too much about having loads of mobile data because you'll have so much access to Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there is Wi-Fi even when you're on the road. You know, every time you get a coffee, you're gonna get a Wi-Fi. I'll be honest with you, it's not the best, right? It is gonna be, you know, painful and this and that. But you know, to check out your Facebook, send a couple of messages, send a couple of emails. It's gonna be plenty.
And most of the time, when you are traveling around, the Wi-Fi that you can rely on the most is in your accommodation, like your hostels or your hotel or motel. They're usually, like, most of them will have free Wi-Fi or at least cheap Wi-Fi, and that's when you can actually do your quick messages to home and stuff. So, and also when, you know, you're in New Zealand, you don't really want to be online all the time anyway. You're here to do other things, I'm sure.
So yeah, so we will link in the description below to an article about where and how to find Wi-Fi in New Zealand. But let's go over a little bit of the offering that there is for cell phone at the moment. So we are recording this literally a few days before Christmas 2018. So this video will probably be valid for, let's say, until about like July, August 2019. Cell phone plans change regularly. So if you're watching a rerun of these videos after July or August 2019, make sure to go back into our channel. I'm pretty sure we'll go over that again, and we'll have some up-to-date stuff. Actually, what we'll do, we'll put a link in the description below just to make sure that you have it, or use the search bar on our channel. Anyway, now enough introduction. Let's go through the little chart. All right. So we're going to be talking about 6 different plans, and the first plan is going to be the first one is going to be with Vodafone, which is a big company here in New Zealand. Then there's going to be 3 plans from Spark. I'm actually just going to pick one because I'm just going to mention quickly all of them, but I keep going. Then 2 Degrees and then Skinny Prepay. Okay, so Vodafone, Spark, 2 Degrees, and Skinny. All right, cool. So with Vodafone, for $38, you can get a 4 GB of data, 50 minutes of call, 500 text, and you can actually get like a bonus, like for $10 a day, you will get like completely unlimited free social pass. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Pinterest. So yeah. So again, $38, 4 GB, 50 minutes, 500 text. $10 a day extra to get unlimited social, and that's pretty much it. Now with 2 Degrees, it's $49. You're going to get 10 GB, 200 minutes, unlimited text. You're going to get 1 hour of free data every day, and yeah, you can also kind of add extra data if you want to, for example, $6 for 24 hours, those kind of things. Then you're going to have Skinny, which I have to be honest, when doing the math, is our favorite. So that's $46. You get 12 GB, unlimited calls, unlimited text, and that's pretty much it. You can buy a data binge, which actually is kind of a cool thing, where you buy for a certain amount of hours and you get unlimited data. So for example, for 50 cents, you get 10 minutes unlimited, but for $4, you get 12 hours. So if you have something that you really want to do, for $4 is pretty good. And the network is actually the same than Spark, so it's a pretty good one. So this makes Skinny the cheapest one so far. And then for Spark, their best plan is $49. You get 4 GB of data, plus you get 4 GB on their nearby old phone stations. Basically, you get free Wi-Fi.
Like Wi-Fi hotspots around the country. Exactly,
Wi-Fi hotspots. Then you get 500 minutes of call, unlimited text, and yeah, if you sign up for the first 6 months, you get 10 GB free for social. So like that's Facebook, Instagram, and all those kind of things.
Social media.
So if you kind of do the math, and I'm just gonna do quickly some simple math just to make it a bit clearer. If you were to pay per gigabyte with Vodafone, that will cost you $9.50. If you were to pay per gigabyte with Sparks, that will cost you $6.12. If you were to pay per gigabyte with 2 Degrees, that would be $4.09. And if you were to pay per gigabyte, so we're just talking data, you would be paying $3.83 per gigabyte. So Skinny, dead cheaper. Then and that's including like their bonus. So I try to make it as cheap as possible if you take advantage of all their bonuses. So the reason why I'm focusing so much on the gigabyte right now is I know that one of the biggest focus for people is trying to get some internet on the go. So I feel like for that, Skinny will definitely be hands down the cheapest.
Yeah.
Plus, they do have a lot of different plans as well. So you don't have to go for 12 gigabyte. Honestly, even us in the road with all the videoing that we're doing and all the social media and everything, we never use 12 gigabyte.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And you often get like add-ons, and they do free data weekends with Skinny as well. So they're often throwing data at you, and it's also, remember that it's like, is it rollover data?
Yeah.
So it carries on to the next month. You don't really lose out on your data. Yeah. So yeah, that really accumulates, and you end up having quite a lot.
Yeah, so that could be quite a good trick actually. On the first month, you may get this $46 plan, so you get 12 gigabyte, and then next month you move down to like a $16 plan, and then 12 gigabyte that you didn't use, so let's say 8 gigabyte you didn't use, they roll over, so you still have them, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And it's still prepaid, so you can cancel anytime, which is quite handy.
And that's a really cool thing, because your circumstances are always changing while you're traveling. So you can change the bundles or the pre-plan that you have. You can change that to something that suits you more, from week to week or month to month. So that's always handy. Yeah, so our favorite, you can tell our favorite Skinny. We both are with Skinny. And so Laura mentioned that to give you an idea, they also do free data weekend. So it looks like a simple text that you receive on the Friday and saying, at 5 p.m., free data weekend starts. You get 2.5 gigabyte bonus for this weekend. So that's just pretty much it. They do that. Apparently, they just do that for this summer, but they always have those kind of promotions to kind of keep you engaged with them. So yeah, there's plenty of choices. Now, the last thing that I would point out is that I wouldn't focus on getting my SIM card right before you actually arrive, because there are quite a few uneven coverage around New Zealand. So you're going to be a student, Arshit, in New Plymouth, you said. So maybe, and I can't remember honestly if in New Plymouth there is big disparities, but maybe where you're going to be, well, only Vodafone works, so only 2 degrees work, and it does happen a few times. So what I would do if I were you is that I'll actually make my way to New Plymouth, and when I see where I'm going to be living, where's my university, I just ask people around, like, hey, the Vodafone's working here, Skinny's working here, and if people say yes, so for Skinny you ask about Spark because it's the same network. But yeah, if people say yes, then you go and you get yourself this SIM card. That'll be a little bit of a pain in the ass to actually set yourself up, put some credit, and then realize that the coverage is pretty uneven, and you have to hang like that to make sure that it works. But that's the last tip that I would give you on that. Do you have anything to add on? I think that was well covered, personally.
Well, so I know that was a lot of information, but this is a question that comes up really often, and we really feel that this will be helping a lot of people. So if that was the answer that you liked, just make sure you give us a like below, you comment below. That's really helpful for us. And any extra question, if you're watching a rerun, in the comment below, and we are going over it next week.
Sweet.
All right, taking the time to say hi to the live chat. Thank you very much, Matt Mac. I just want to say something. Matt Mac just gave us
our first ever super chat.
Yes, super chat. That's a donation of $2. That's the first one. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was actually, what the hell is happening on the screen? I've never seen that before.
It's nice bright blue.
So yeah, thank you very much for the support, Matt Mac. It really means a lot. Let's see if there are some questions around. Matt Mac's actually asking how it is for us to deal with the pressure of having to be always moving. To be fair, we can't really like it.
Yeah, after a while, it does become quite just part of your routine. Yeah. So I think obviously when you're starting any new routine, it gets a little, at first it's a bit weird. It's a bit like, oh, this is a lot to deal with. But it's like if you're starting a new job or moving to a new place for the first time, it takes a while to like get used to it. But then after that, maybe first 2 or 3 months, then it's just like, this is our lives now. And
so it's all about creating habits and routines. We're a bit crazy about spreadsheets and charts and everything. So we make ourselves a really tight schedule, and then we go with that. But yeah, honestly, after a while, it's like any other job. You kind of like, you have your little routine. Obviously, let me just rephrase. It's not like any other job. It's so much better. But like it's just another good routine, and and honestly, like there are some stuff which are a bit harder to deal with, like it's sometimes tougher, to organize things a little bit better and everything, but it's so worth it, with the amount of stuff that we get to do. We're not complaining.
No, certainly not.
Let's get that right. All right, a couple of other people have joined in. Unofficial Bucket List Family is sending another YouTube channel, guys. Check them out. They're really awesome. Sorry that the connection is pretty poor. Is the audio and the video good for you guys? By the way, tell us. We really never get feedback about that. Tell us if the audio is good.
Yeah, we noticed last week that it wasn't as good as usual.
Yeah.
So just let us know what's going on with this.
Tell us if you can see us and if you can hear us. Hassan, hello Hassan, how are you doing? We're going to talk about food costs. Yeah, actually, I'm going to take your question in a minute. And Trish Lowe, how are you doing, Trish? Thank you for joining us. She wants a video about Chatham Island. I'm going to give you that question really quickly, Trish. The reason why we don't have a video for Chatham Island is because last year they had less than 1,000 tourists going there. So there is really not that many people that want to go there. And on top of that, it's so expensive, so remote that we never really got around to do that. But it is on my bucket list. I do really want to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Laura really wants to do it as well. So we're still trying to find a way to make it work. But just damn, it's expensive to get there. It is so crazy, and there is almost no accommodation choice and all that.
It's a very different sort of tourism experience to what you obviously get on the mainland in New Zealand. Like usually you have over there, you'd have to go in a homestay and then rely on your hosts to transport you around. Like I think there's maybe one car rental company, but that's pretty much it. So it's very, very small, and you know, you'd have to organize a lot more to make that work.
Yeah, and if we go there, I want to go for, you know, like if I spend that much money to go there, I want to go for.
You want to stay for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but Trish, we have on BackpackerGuide.NZ a full guide of the Chatham Island that we've done with some locals that we contacted there. We even met farmers that used to be living there. So you go on BackpackerGuide.NZ, you type Chatham Island in the search bar, and you will be able to find our guide of the Chatham Islands, which is actually not our guide, but locals guide. So yeah, here you go. All right. Going quickly through. Actually, should we do the question first? Okay, we decided to do something first. I know we do a little bit more casual today, but let's do the question. So here's what we decided to do. You guys are asking us heaps of questions all the time. We're quizzing us all the time. So we decided to turn it around and ask one question about New Zealand every single week to you guys, and we'll give you the answer at the end of the video. So I'll go over the Hassan's question after that. We're going to go over the cost of food. But the question of the week is, what is New Zealand's only surviving native or owl? Fucking hell.
English is hard. Okay. So,
question of the day.
Question of the day. What is New Zealand's only surviving native owl? So stick your answer, what you think the answer is, in the comments either below or in the live chat, and we will tell you the answer at the end of this video.
Here you go. All right, cool. So now we're having a question on YouTube from Hassan Behru, which asks, hello, how much does food cost for a week? All right, so food shopping, it is very personal, obviously. Everybody has different costs. There is actually quite a few Kiwis right here in the live chat, so you guys are more than welcome to pitch in. But Laura and I, for a week, spend about $80 on food. Yeah. But that's with a few caveats right here. Now, we don't buy much meat. We like to eat meat only 2 to 3 times a week only. And that makes a big difference because meat is extremely expensive in New Zealand. Yeah. We also very rarely buy alcohol. Alcohol is also very expensive. And when we talk with people that do their grocery shopping, usually 1 or 2 cases of beer in the trolley. And if you talk about like a 6-pack of beer, it's already about like 15 to 10, between 10 and 15. No, it's never 10. Like the cheapest one is about $13 to $16. So that goes up pretty quickly. So if you were thinking like fruit and vegetables, rice, pasta, some cheese, to making some sauce, all those kind of things, it's going to be around $80 a week.
That's for two people,
that would be for about 2 people, but for one person it's going to be about like 60 because there's always some.
Yeah, you always have to buy obviously the full packs. You can't just buy like packs for one person.
Exactly, yeah. But you think about milk as well. Any dairy products cost quite a lot. Actually, I find
cheese
butter
is quite expensive.
Yeah, cheese and butter are incredibly expensive here in New Zealand. So cheese, you're going to get about $10 for like a 1 kg block and about $5 for 500 grams of butter, something like that. Right? So that's the kind of like the cost when you go to the grocery shopping. But we actually do have a video on this channel right here, which is what is it?
We've got one which is how expensive is New Zealand. So yeah, we'll make sure to link that in the description below after this live video when we do the rebroadcast. We also have another video called What is the Cost of Backpacking in New Zealand, which gives some of those prices as well. So we have 2 videos going over a lot about budgeting and costs of things and giving you really specific examples with actual costs of what they are. And we will be releasing new videos each year. Obviously, prices do change a little bit. So, you know, the video we've done already is how expensive is New Zealand in 2018, but we will make sure to do another video later on in 2019, just so we can update those prices for you as well.
Yeah. Now, you know, cost of food can mean quite a lot of things, not just at the supermarket. So we just covered supermarkets right here for you. Again, we're not going to give you the price of every single item on the on the menu, but yeah, check out the video of how expensive in New Zealand for that, because we go literally, we tell you how much a kg of apple costs, how much this costs, you know, so we go through all that. But there is quite a few ways to save on food, you know, when you travel around New Zealand. So the first thing that I will think of is if you do stay in a hostel, there's always a free food shelf. Now, on the free food shelf, you can grab any food that people have left behind, and you can use them to cook for yourself. So you can save a lot of money with that.
Especially on like herbs and spices as well. Obviously, that's, you know,
oil as well.
Oil and things. They're not really stuff you want to pick up and carry around with you, but you will usually find that sort of thing in a lot of accommodations that's left over from other people.
There is also a lot of hostels that have like some free food nights. So, you know, we know of a hostel that does like free chicken nights. So they buy like 3 or 4 roast chickens, and everybody's kind of eating around that, around the roast chicken every.
Which hostel's that?
It's okay. I think it's the Extreme Backpacker in Turangi. They do free roasting night every Friday, if I'm correct.
Oh, wow.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah.
There are plenty of hostels that offer free breakfast, so it's a great way to save on toast, jams, and cornflakes, and a bit of milk. It's never the flash breakfast. You don't expect to go your croissant with all your fresh fruit bowl. It's not going to be that. But if you do are staying in a hostel that offer free breakfast, that can be a big money saver as well. There is a few base hostels that offer like really cheap food nights, like for example,
$3 for a meal. Like usually
it's in Queenstown, right?
Yeah, so
Queenstown, right?
Queenstown, every night they do a like $3 meal thing. But you can upgrade to, it's usually like in portions. So you upgrade like $5, you get a big portion of pasta or whatever it is, or the $3 is a smaller one, or I think they even offer something for free, which is just like entree style.
So this is their way to kind of take you to their bars, because obviously they want to make some money from you buying alcohol. Now, if you're at the bar, you know, on backpacker bars, you're going to be paying about like $5 for a pint for a beer. It's between 5 and 9 basically. It's always going to be between 5 and 9 for some beer. So that's around the normal cost. Another way to save on food when you're traveling around New Zealand is definitely to cook with people. If you're traveling alone, make some friends. There is no better places to make friends in New Zealand than a hostel kitchen. You chat with some people while everybody's cooking and say, hey, tomorrow do you guys want to make food together, or tonight do you guys want to make food together? It's always so much cheaper to actually cook for more than one. That's the tricky part. It's always more expensive to cook for one. I do not get it. It drives me nuts.
Or if you're cooking, usually if it's just for one person, then you end up having the same thing for like 4 days in a row or something. But I mean, it's okay. It's like when you're traveling, you can definitely make those sacrifices and save heaps of money. It's not like your life is going to be like that forever. So why not?
So I think that covers the cost of food in New Zealand. Obviously, Hassan, if you have any extra questions, just let us know in the comment below. If you did like this answer, make sure to like it, subscribe, do all those things. Whereas like that. And if you have any follow-up questions, in the comments below, of course. All right, we only had one person that answered about our question. Guys, come on, your live chat. Find me what is the only native owl in New Zealand left. Sadly, only one left. So sad. All right. In the meantime, we'll go through another question. So on YouTube, you know this name better than me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I can pronounce that.
So on YouTube, Graham asked, do you need to buy a pass to get into New Zealand national parks? All right.
So I'm almost betting that this guy is American.
Yeah.
I'm almost betting because yes, in the US you have to buy passes.
I think
to
it's
get
some
there,
parks in the UK you have to pay to go
really?
in as well. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So well, the good news, Graham, is that no, you do not need to pay to go into any national park in New Zealand. They're all free of charge to visit, and that's pretty awesome. As long as you do have a good pair of hiking boots, because usually you need a good pair of hiking boots.
Yeah, I mean,
to
you're
visit
going
that.
there to hike most probably.
Yeah. Now, there could be some cost associated to visiting a national park, right? So I'll go over that just so you absolutely have no bad surprises and everything, right? So the first thing that comes to mind are the hut passes. So if you're doing a multi-day hike like the Abel Tasman Coastal Track, like Milford Sound, the Milford Track, sorry, we're talking about the Tongariro Crossing, the Tongariro Circuit.
Yeah.
The Tongariro Crossing is just one day. So
yeah.
the Tongariro Circuit goes around.
So that's the Great Walks, and there's lots of other types of multi-day hikes as well, like other popular ones.
There's the one on Stewart Island, for example, which is very long.
Oh, like there's the Southern Circuit and the Northern Circuit. So yeah, any multi-day hikes which involve accommodation along the way, whether that is campsites or huts, the accommodation you will need to pay for.
Yeah. So if you do carry your own tent and you plan on camping along the way, you can only camp in selected areas which are designed as campsites. Designated as campsites, and you do have to pay for your camping site. So it's cheaper than the hut, but you do have to pay for that. If you are hiking around and you want to stay in a hut because you don't want to carry all your camping gear, good on you. That's the right move. I hate carrying the camping gears, but yeah, if you are doing that, you're going to want to stay in a hut. And then at that point, you need to get yourself a hut pass, which you can buy a pass of like 5 or 10 nights, or you just buy for like this one night that you need.
Yeah.
And yeah, you do have to pay for that. It's nothing flash. It's not private. It's it's like
a basic hut.
Yeah,
with
very
bunks.
basic.
They have like special sort of mattresses, which are obviously to keep things hygienic. So they have like a bit of a plastic cover on. So obviously you need to take your own sleeping bag. Electricity, there may be none whatsoever. There's probably going to be running water, but it's usually stored in a tank and things, like it's rainwater that's been stored. So you usually have to boil the water before you use it just to be extra safe. So yeah, it is very basic. And also in the campsites, they will have some very limited facilities as well there. Again, water that you'll probably need to boil, and they'll usually have toilets, which again, they're not flash, they're not usually flushing toilets, they're usually long drop toilets. So yeah, so that's basically the accommodation in the national parks in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And that's what you'll need to pay for. And usually prices for the Great Walks, they have a very huge variation of prices just because of their popularity. So the less popular Great Walks, for instance, the Lake Waikaremoana, the what's another one that's less popular?
The Rakiura Track on the Stewart Island, I guess.
The Rakiura Track on Stewart Island, for instance, they will be around $32 per night. But if you want to do a Great Walk, one of the more popular ones, that's usually around, I think, $160 per night. So yeah, they've just put their prices up this year, so we'll just see how that goes with if they continue doing that or not. But then when you're not doing a Great Walk, the huts on those lesser popular non-Great Walk tracks are usually around $15 per night.
Yeah. So yeah, you get a huge variation on that. Now another cost to visiting a national park, if that applies to you, is transportation to get there. So, if we think about Stewart Island, for example, which, it's an island, Stewart Island.
Yeah.
You've got to make your way there. So now, if you're traveling, alone as an adult, it's about $85 for the ferry to get there. And but if you're traveling as a family, usually the kids go free, so that's always good, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's not that cheap to get there, but once you're there, well, almost everything is really cheap. There is some of the national park which are really quite remote, especially if you're not traveling with your own car. We think of, the Lake Waikaremoana, for example, it's quite remote, so you have to find yourself a shuttle. This national park is actually quite hard to get to. But yeah, so you will have costs associated about making your way there. And the last cost that there is obviously doing tours. You know, there is plenty of tours available in almost every national park in New Zealand. You know, I'm thinking right now about the Abel Tasman National Park, where you can take a boat tour to go to see some of the best places over there, and then you can make your way back walking or those kind of things. So it allows you to see much more of it, and obviously you have the cost of your tour right here. Now, every single time you pay for the cost of either transportation or a tour, those operators have to pay a fee to the DOC, which is Department of Conservation. So that's basically how the Department of Conservation actually collects money to be able to sustain itself. And so so that's one of their ways to make money out of it, and being able to, you know, maintain all those beautiful national park and protect the environment and all those kind of things. But so that is all the cost that, you know, may be involved in visiting national park in New Zealand. But to answer your question, is there a fee to visit national park in New Zealand? No. But there's always a way to spend money.
Don't worry, your money will be gone.
Yep. All right, cool. Nice one. So while you guys are warming up or asking us some extra questions, this and that, we'll go through some extra questions that we got right here. What do we have? Oh yeah, actually, this is not really a question that someone asked, but I kind of wanted to go over that because it's something that we actually get really regularly, both on Facebook and by email. We very often have some people ask us about that. So on one of our YouTube video, we had Erickson Yaya. So we are on YouTube. We had Erickson Yaya that came and asked about the Southern Lights, and I thought it would be a really good idea to actually talk about that, because he wants to know where are the best spots in New Zealand to spot the Southern Lights. All right. So first up, I want to point out to a video that we actually made on what are the best times to see the Southern Light, because that's really important. More than the spot, it's about the good timing
and having all the right conditions.
Yeah, it's so complex.
All the criteria.
It's so complex. So an article in the description below, a video in the description below, all of that is going to be down here for you guys. And in the meantime, well, you know, the best places to see the Southern Lights. So again, you're going to figure out that they're all around the same area of New Zealand. They're all at the bottom of the South Island, because this is the best areas to see that.
I mean, it's the Southern Lights, so ideally you need to go as far south as you can go.
And then, all right, so first up, Stewart Island. We just talked about that, but Stewart Island is the little island at the bottom of the South Island. One of the best places to see the Southern Lights. Plus, on top of that, the light pollution over there is almost non-existent, since well, there's only one town called Oban,
and 80% of the island is a national park, so that means again there's not much light pollution because of that as well.
So it's a really cool place to visit, and it will be my #1 kind of place to go see the Southern Lights in New Zealand.
Even when we were down there doing a multi-day hike, even on the night in the little Department of Conservation hut we were staying in, and we could look up at the stars, and they were so bright. Like it was like amazing. Nowhere else that we'd seen before. So you can only imagine what it's like when the Southern Lights are doing their thing. I
have to say, it did almost look fake. The lights, it did almost look fake. And some of the pictures that we have, actually, they're so bright. While you know, it was amazing.
Amazing,
all right, next one.
So another place that you can go to is Lake Tekapo, and that's because it is in the middle of what's called an International Dark Sky Reserve. So this place is actually a protected area, making it sort of like, so there's no light, there's restrictions on how much light pollution can be there. You know, the towns have to have like their lights at a certain degree and things, and that means that it's one of the best places in the world to do stargazing. And along with that, when the Southern Lights are active, it also makes an awesome place to go and check out the Southern Lights as well. So yeah,
definitely a cool one. The next one is the Cathlins. Is the Cathlins. Okay, the Cathlins area. So the Cathlins area is such an awesome white place. I loved every second of it. There is like, you know, big what was those big animals that were fighting?
Oh, the sea lions.
Yeah, massive sea lions. The heaps of really awesome stuff to do there. And it's also a really good spot for the Southern Lights. Now, it is not a dark sky reserve, but there's kind of almost nothing there. There's like one holiday park I can remember of, and there's no town.
There are a couple of really small towns, but
I can't even remember that. I mean, that's to tell you how tiny they were, despite the fact that we drove through it. so yeah, definitely a place to go, because same thing, very low light pollution, very south on the South Islands. So it just seems like they're really good conditions.
Yeah. And it's always good to be on the coast as well. It seems like the coast is where people usually you see the best photos of the Southern Lights, is usually because it's on the coast and you can sort of see them like across the horizon. So that's another tip there as well. Although on the other hand, you can see the Southern Lights when you're on the top of mountains as well, but the coast is usually easier to get to. So another one is in Dunedin, which is a city in the Otago region of the South Island. And there's a particular place which people like to go to when the Southern Lights are active, and that's on the Otago Peninsula at a place called the Hooker Inlet. Now, it's like a really small little inlet, which, you know, there's no light pollution coming in. It's a nice dark area. And there are many amazing photos of the Southern Lights of people that have come to the Hooker Inlet and checked them out. So if you keep your eye on the, is it called the KP charts, which shows the strength of the Southern Lights, and you see that it's going to be a big Southern Light day, then you head to the Hooker Inlet. There'll probably be loads of other people there that know, if they know about it, they'll go there, and yeah, that's like the perfect place to go in Dunedin. So there's a specific place for you.
Exactly. All right, so this is basically the best places to see the Southern Lights in New Zealand. We have plenty of articles actually about that. We put them in the description below. Yep. We also have for you another video of what are the best times to see the Southern Lights, and we're probably going to cover that again and again, because it's a question that we get so often. It's quite crazy. So yeah, so I hope this answered your question, Graham. Again, if you liked it, like the video. If you found us useful, subscribe, like, all of that. We really appreciate the support, seriously, so much.
And if you've got any more questions, guys, make sure you keep popping them in on the live chat, or put them in the comments below so we can get round to them next week.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what she said. All right, let's talk about Picton. So now we've got two people, Y2J and Ricardo Sales. I hope it's Sales. I really want it to be Sales. It's Brazilian.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm pronouncing right. Ricardo, tell me if I did it right. Anyway, on YouTube, Ricardo Sales says, what is a good thing to do in Picton?
There are many good things to do in Picton.
All right, so we're going to tell you our favorite things to do in Picton. The first thing, I think, I'm going to go straight away with that, is the Queen's Charlotte track.
Oh yeah,
obviously. You know about it. Go for it.
Sure. So the Queen Charlotte track is one of those multi-day hikes, but not a great walk. So
not too crowded.
Yeah. So so that's a really awesome multi-day hike. I'm not 100% sure how long it is. I'd say probably between 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
And that goes along the Queen Charlotte Sound, sort of on these through the Marlborough Sounds, on top of mountain ridges and into forest, and you get some really awesome views of all the water surrounding the Marlborough Sounds. And that's the sort of same views that you get when you take the ferry in from Wellington to Picton. You sort of go through the Marlborough Sounds, but on the Queen Charlotte track, you actually get the time to see all the scenery and take in that amazing environment. So that's a really awesome option to do. It's a one-way hike, so you will need to get transportation to either end of the track, whether that's by water taxi on one end. There's also shuttle transport at the other end to take you back to Picton. So there's a little bit of organization to do, but it's very doable.
So now, that's a really good segue. Now, Picton is the gateway to the Marlborough Sound. It's an absolute crown jewel of New Zealand. I love this place so much. There's a lot of wildlife there, marine wildlife, bird wildlife. There's really a lot of things to do. So one of the best things to do in Picton is to head on the water. You get plenty of companies like Eco Tours and Beachcombers, which are running tours all around. And I feel like if you were to do the Queen's Charlotte track, well, I would actually take the boat and kill one bird with two stones. I take the boat, I do a cruise, and then I walk back. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, so another really amazing thing to do in Picton is to take a cruise. There's so many things to see. What's the name of this island with all the beautiful birds? Motu Tapa.
I was trying to think of that while you were talking.
Motu Tapa.
Yeah, I think it's called Motu Tapa Island. Ooh, we'll need to. I
think that's the correct one.
We'll definitely put it in the description below after this video, and we will link to the video, because we have actually been there ourselves and seen some amazing bird life there, but I just can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. So actually, if you type Picton in the search bar on our channel, you're gonna find like 5 or 6 different videos of plenty of things that we've done here. We've done mountain biking, we've done all of that. on the water. It's pretty cool. Now, if you do have a little bit of budget and you actually plan on staying in Picton, you may want to consider kind of like flashbacking, you know, and treating yourself. There is a lot of few lodges really well hidden in the Marlborough Sound. There's one I really like. It's called Lochmara. They have like some rays, like you can do ray feeding. They have water observatories. They have there's a lot of conservation work going on, and you can actually stay there for the night. So they take you with a boat from Picton, and you go there, you stay there for a night or two, and then you come back. There's plenty of things to do there. It's such an amazing place.
Yeah, there's loads of walks you can do. They have lots of birds and stuff around the area. Hammocks in the trees. It's just like, it kind of makes you feel like you're in an island paradise, because it feels very isolated. And you'll see there's actually a lot of those lodges around the Marlborough Sounds. And they often have like free kayak hire and things like that. So you can, it's just a really nice place to go and relax. Yeah.
I just want to pitch in, it's actually Motuara Island. I just found it quickly, and I found it on BackpackerGuide.NZ, which you guys should check out one day. All right, another really cool thing to do then, it's Motuara Island. It's a bird sanctuary. There's heaps of birds to see over there. It's really awesome. You have to take the boat to go there. It's really cool. So yeah, it's one of those many boat cruise between the mail cruise and the boat cruise, which is really awesome to do there. Now, another really cool thing to do around the Picton area is to drive French Pass. If you have your own car, it is one of the most stunning roads in the country. French Pass is absolutely mind-blowing. It's so, like, it's such an amazing drive. Again, if you check our channel, we do have a video of us driving French and then taking a boat and going to see some crazy people. It's a really fun video. You should check it out. But yeah, French Pass is absolutely amazing. Definitely something to drive on.
For sure. Also, but it is a gravel road, so just make sure if you have a rental car, if they're a bit iffy about going on gravel roads, then maybe avoid that one if your rental company doesn't allow you to go on gravel roads.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, cool. And obviously there is also plenty of hikes to do around around Picton, and also mountain biking tracks. There's plenty of them, and some hikes are actually both hike and mountain biking track, which is quite cool. So so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually pick the article, the best hikes around Picton.
Yeah, we
have
right
here on BackpackerGuide.NZ.
About 15 of, there's
12,
like around 15.
12 right here.
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
All right, cool. So I'm just going to read you a few of them, just so you know some of them that we like the best. But yeah, so Hilltop View is the Tirohanga track. It's about 45 minutes. It's one way, so about an hour and a half back and forth. Definitely worth doing. The Link Pathway, which is one actually you can mountain bike as well.
Yeah, we have a video to that one, which we'll make sure to link up in the rebroadcast.
So the Link Pathway, definitely worth doing. An hour and a half, an hour and a half one way. We talk about the Queen Charlotte, obviously. You can do the Picton to Shelly Beach if you just want a digestive walk, because yes, in Picton there is plenty of food to be had. So if you just want a digesting walk, you do Picton to Shelly Beach. It's only about 10 minutes one way, so that's 20 minutes back and forth. So also if you're with the kids, easy as, super easy. Another one which is really great to do with kids is the Upper Bob's Bay track. It's only 30 minutes one way, so it's super short. It's also very easy, but you get some really cool views, and you get a bit of this bush feeling and everything, which is quite cool. And if you actually find that the kids are not ready for bed yet and you need to tire them a little bit more, then you do the Lower Bay Bob's track, which is only 30 minutes as well one way. So easy as, 2 hours, get them exhausted, put them to bed. Harbour View track, same thing, another kind of classic in Picton. It's only 20 minutes and you get a really nice harbour view from the top, so it's super easy. The Snout track, 50 minutes as well. Humphrey Dam, 40 minutes.
That's in a slightly different area, so that's at the back of Picton where there's more forest parks. You can go see some slightly different scenery over there.
Yeah, and plenty more. I'm not going to keep going with the whole list, but if you go on BackpackerGuide.NZ, if you check in the comment below, there is 12 different hikes right here that we put for you.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to mention about things to do in Picton, actually there's more things to do in Picton. There's a museum about whaling, because it used to be a big whaling area, but it's a very small museum. But if you're in Picton and you don't have the chance to make it to Blenheim and you are a bit of a foodie, you can hop on the tour and go experience wine tours, wine tasting in Blenheim. So most of the tours that do wine tasting around the Blenheim area, which is one of the prime New Zealand wine region, they actually offer a pickup in Picton. So you can hop on the van, and we have videos of that, of us getting really drunk, tasting way too many wines.
Yeah.
I think that's the day when we tried like 22 different
Yeah, we
wines.
were counting how many wines were during the wine tasting, and I think it was like 21 different wines that we tried. And we got to try some chocolate, so...
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So definitely hop on a wine tour if you're a bit of a foodie.
Yeah.
So you go around to many different vineyards, you try a lot of different wine, you stop somewhere super fancy for lunch.
And that's definitely a really good option if it's a rainy day, because obviously what we've discussed so far about, you know, being out on the water or doing a hike, sometimes you wouldn't want to do that if it's absolutely pouring down with rain. So if it is pouring down with rain, then pour yourself a glass of wine.
Yeah, doesn't sound too bad. If it pours, Laura pours. All right, cool. So that's basically our favorite things to do in Picton. So I know 2 of you guys were asking about those things. Is there anything that you guys done in Picton that you liked? Is there anything that we missed? Is there something that we just suggested and you really hated? Tell us. Did we just send you somewhere that you didn't like? Let us know. And yeah, just obviously like, subscribe, all those kind of things. It's always great to have a little bit of support. So yay.
Cool.
All right. Any other questions, by the way, in the comment below as well? All right. Should we do another question that we have right here?
Yeah,
we've done all of that. We've done all of that. Oh, let's talk about camping gears.
Okay.
That's something that we get quite often. So now we do run also Facebook groups where people go and ask questions. Every travelers is kind of helping each other and everything. And the question that keeps on popping up, let's say this week, it was asked 4 times, is where to buy camping gears in New Zealand. So we go over it right here, right now. All right. So, Laura, do you want to get started? I wrote all those things from the cheapest way to get stuff to the most expensive one.
Okay, well, let's start with the cheapest.
So we go from cheap to expensive.
Yeah, so one way you can get camping gear in New Zealand is by just going on Facebook groups. We, like Robin said, we actually run quite a lot of the Backpacking New Zealand Facebook groups where people, basically they go on there and they sell, like buy and sell travel gear that they've come to the end of their trip and they want to get rid of their camping gear and stuff, and that's where you can find some really cheap deals on tents, camping chairs, camping tables, like mats, all sorts of different things, like even like kitchen and cooking equipment, because there's a lot of people that are traveling in camper vans as well, so they have stuff to get rid of by the end of their trip. So that is definitely a place to go if you want to get some super cheap stuff. So I have a scroll through the backpacking groups, and we'll make sure to link to a couple that we really like in the description after this broadcast. But yeah, just have a look through, see if there's any for sale, and if not, just put a question up saying, does anybody have any camping gear to sell? And you'll probably get someone coming back to you. Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is called Trade Me. So it's trademe.co.nz. It's the New Zealand equivalent of eBay. eBay is not big here in New Zealand, but Trade Me is. This is where all the locals sell their stuff. A lot of travelers are also selling their stuff. A listing on it is actually free. You just pay when it's sold, which is a little bit like eBay. So that's why there's so much listings on there, because everybody is on Trade Me. So it's a great way to get yourself some secondhand stuff. Now the thing is, it's either you have to get it shipped to you or you have to go pick it up. It's always kind of like, it's a bit like the Facebook group. You have to commit the time and the transportation to go and either pick up, see the items and all those kind of things. So so that's another really cheap option, but you need to be a little bit more flexible on that. And again, we're talking about used items, right?
Yeah. So another cheap option, if you want to get something brand new, is to go to the Warehouse, which is this big department store in New Zealand, which basically sells everything at a budget price. So they definitely do have a camping section where you will be able to get tents and lots of different camping gear as well, from like water canisters, again, camping chairs and things like that. So that is definitely somewhere where you'll be able to find affordable tents for brand new. But just a disclaimer, Robin and I haven't tested those tents, so we don't actually know if they are, if they're that good or not. And I think when you are buying from the Warehouse, maybe you have to assess, am I going to be using this tent a lot? Maybe you'd want to actually spend a little bit more money to get something a little bit better. But if you are just doing maybe a one-off trip or just doing some quick camping and you're not too bothered about having the best tent ever, then the Warehouse is a good option. Yeah,
definitely. So another one of those cheap options, but just slightly bit better. It's called Torpedo 7, and another brand is called Mountain Warehouse. So those are two different brands, Torpedo 7 and Mountain Warehouse. I think Mountain Warehouse only has a store in Queenstown, if I'm correct right now. And Torpedo 7 has mostly stores in Auckland, maybe a couple around there.
There's some, I think, in like Hamilton,
Taupo,
and Queenstown,
maybe Christchurch. Anyway, they have a few more stores. Now they are kind of like your entry-level, basic outdoor stores. Same thing, the quality is going to be like okay. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not absolutely awesome, but it's very decently priced. So that's kind of like in my opinion, it's a correct balance right here, and you can get some quite decent stuff.
And we did actually test out some Torpedo 7 tents during New Zealand's biggest gap year, and we had actually a few travellers that were with us who were testing them out for the night, and they said they were very good. I mean, they only tried it for one night, but
they were really good and rather easy to build actually, which was quite surprising. So those two stores pretty good to actually get yourself some camping gears in New Zealand. They will have everything else that you need. Any of the things that you need to cook, any of the chairs, any of the backpacks, and anything, sleeping bags, sleeping mats, all those kind of things. You have everything there as well.
For sure.
Cool. Then after that, now we're going to the expensive ones. Now there's three brands which are kind of expensive that are proper, your outdoor stuff. You know what I mean? That's the thing that you're proud of carrying the brand. You're like, getting out there, and that's Kathmandu, Backpack, and Bivouac. Now, I do not know if any of those brands are actually available overseas at all. I do know that Kathmandu and Backpack are New Zealand brands. I don't know if they're available there. I do not know much about Bivouac, but we've been to all three of their stores. We actually have items of all those three brands. And actually, although the Kathmandu and Backpack, because they do their own brands, and Bivouac, they sell like all your Columbia, North Face, all those kind of like brands and everything. So those are the proper the proper gears. Like they're the shit.
I mean, the price is definitely up there to indicate that they are the shit. So you would probably guarantee that you're getting a good quality tent from those brands, from Kathmandu, Backpack, and Bivouac. But the good thing about those stores actually is that when you sign up to their loyalty programs,
which is free to do. They give you, I think, is it 10% off? So you can make a bit of a saving there, like straight out the gate. Yes, but again, maybe you'd only want to actually spend that much money on a tent if you are going to use it a lot and very often, and then in that case you can justify spending that. So that's basically all the places where you can buy camping gears in New Zealand, from the cheap used one to the super fancy expensive ones. There is obviously a couple of North Face stores and those kind of things, but that's like so crazy expensive that we didn't really mention those kind of things. But
there's a place called Hunting and Fishing as well, a New Zealand brand, which I think they do a lot of camping gear there too. So, but again, they don't have as many outlet stores around, they don't have as many stores around New Zealand compared to Kathmandu and Backpack. So
so this is all the places that you can buy camping gears in New Zealand. If you do have any extra questions, in the comment below. If you like that, click like. If you find it useful, click like as well. If you find us useful, click subscribe. Come on, be cool, join the gang. All right, cool. So let's check the comments a little bit. Hey, Dust, do you speak Russian? Здравствуйте, меня зовут Robin, and this is Laura. That's pretty much it. Как дела? That's it. That's all my Russian, my friend. We'll stick to that. Oh no, you need to say хорошо when you say как дела. That means good. There you go.
I don't speak any Russian, so I can just answer you right now. No, I do not speak Russian.
All right,
sorry.
I hope my accent was absolutely atrocious for you. Oh my God.
Now there's some Russian characters coming up on the live chat, and this is
Urak to говорить по-русски. I don't know. I think he asked me, why do I speak Russian? I have no idea. Man, I do not speak Russian that well. I mean, no. We're gonna stick to English if that's okay, my friend. All right, cool. And Y2J is asking a couple of quick questions. We're gonna quickly go through that because that's about the end of our videos. But first, you want to know about Cape Reinga, what there to do in the region. He wants to go there next year. So we are we don't necessarily really like, you saw us, we don't really enjoy the driving part so much, we like to be able to enjoy the scenery. So we actually took the Great Side Tour to go there. So there is plenty of walk to do over there. But in Capiringa itself, I think it's just walks.
Obviously in Cape Ringa, there's Rianga, sorry. There's a lot of there's the is it called the Cape Ringa Coastal Track?
Yeah.
It can either be a multi-day walk. There's a few campsites along the way, which are free campsites actually, so that's pretty cool. And they are considering making that a great walk. So it is one of those like really good multi-day hiking tracks that I think you should definitely consider doing before they make it a great walk, because then the prices will go up for the accommodation. Do that one quickly. There's also an area in Cape Reinga called Spirits Bay, which is this beautiful long beach, and it's a little bit of a winding road to get there, but it's a very stunning area where you will feel like you're completely alone if you know, a really isolated beach. So that's really awesome to go check out as well. And of course, like Robin said, there's all the bus tours going to Cape Reinga, which isn't just about going to the lighthouse, but there's also sandboarding to do on the sand dunes and driving along 90 Mile Beach. So there's quite a lot of different stuff to that you can go and see on those bus tours as well.
Yeah, so that's the bus tour going there, right? It's not in Cape Reinga, right?
Yeah,
it's the journey, it's not the destination.
Yeah.
But you're probably gonna base yourself in Pahia, and then there is heaps to do there. You saw like videos we did in Pahia, so check those one out. And now Y2J is also asking about this water slide near Gisborne that was at the end of our adventure activities video. Cool. So this water slide is called the Railway Slide, Railway Rock Slide. In fact, it's totally free. You need to bring your own body because no one's here to supply them. Sometimes there's a couple of
broken ones on the side. Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. And if you Google Dust Vidania Dust, if you Google like Railway Rock Slide, you'll be able to find like where it is. It's a very short drive from Gisborne. Certainly, you can take a tour if you want to take a tour. It's easier.
Yeah, and there's
you can drive.
A lot of different things you can do around there as well. So there's the rock slide, and then literally 2 minutes down the road, there's a waterfall, which is a really nice place to go and have a picnic. Yeah. There's the what's it called? The Eastwood Hill Arboretum.
Yes.
Arboretum, yeah. So the Eastwood Hill Arboretum, so you can go and see lots of different trees. I think it's like the biggest collection of Northern Hemisphere trees in the Southern Hemisphere. So if that's something noteworthy, you should go check that out.
So that's basically for the Railway Rock Slides. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for another awesome live session. We really did love doing that again today for Christmas. Look at that, Christmas stuff. So obviously it's time for us to wish you a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, a happy Hanukkah, a joyful Diwali. I have no idea what is when in the year, but any of those.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, that was really awesome. Hey, Graham, thank you for joining in. We actually did answer your question about the National Park RAM, so you're going to have to rewind that or wait for the repost. Sagdas, oh, thank you very much. Saying something nice to us. Joao, hello, but we are actually wrapping up, Joe. I'm sorry. Ciao. And Dust is asking me if I drink Russian vodka. I actually prefer rum if I have to pick an alcohol.
Yes, you are currently making some rum, fruity rum at the moment, aren't you?
Someone's going to come and take my rum. But I'm more into rum. Laura actually likes Baileys, so no, we're not really into really into vodka, but cool. So thank you very much for all of you guys joining us. We really loved hanging out with you guys. We'll be back here next week.
As a recap about when we are back, so we are here on YouTube every Sunday, 8 a.m. New Zealand time,
which is Saturday
in the following areas. Do you want to say?
USA, 3 p.m. EDT on Saturdays and 12 p.m. PDT on Saturdays again. If you are in Central Europe, that's France, UK, Germany, Spain, Italy, all of those fun ones. In Europe, it's Saturday, 9 p.m. And in India, 12:30 a.m. If you guys can join us at those times, you'll be live with us, be able to ask us your question, interact with us, which we always like, and we'll be able to answer all of the questions that you may have.
And before we go,
finally, Laura, do you want to tell us? So we did ask you the question of the day. We want to make it a thing. So if you do guys like it, tell us Tell us if you do like this new feature. I think that's pretty cool. But the question of the day was, what is New Zealand's only surviving native owl? And the answer was
Moorpork.
Y2J was correct. Well done.
Yeah.
Yes, the moorpork is such a cute owl, like with big eyes, teeny tiny beak. It looks so pretty. It's like, it's just so cute.
So
I really
cute,
like it.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you much guys for joining us once more. Again, happy holiday, Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week, just before New Year's. So we will have to find some New Year's hats, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get some fireworks going on.
What? No, that's not happening. It's time for us to call it.
Okay.
Call it a day. Call it a day. Just stop it. We're not doing fireworks. She's
Thanks
crazy.
for joining us, guys.
Thanks very much, guys. Again, next week, no fireworks, but you should still join us.